Hey guys, welcome to my channel Linux King. My name is Salman Francis, and in our today's video of Let's Learn DevOps, we will take a look at our final video of Dockers, where we will gain some information about how to create a Docker file, what is a Docker file, and how we can use it to create our image. So let's start. First of all, I would like to tell you that what a Docker file is. So a Docker file helps in defining the Docker image. So it means that when we are creating a Docker image, we can do it automatically and use our own options to create our customized image. So basically it has sets of instruction which helps to produce custom image. And we have a very good reference for this, and it's like docs.docker.com/engine/reference/builder. And here you can see a lot of instructions, different content of Dockerfile. Okay, so to create a Docker file, we can create it just by like we are creating a normal Linux file, but we need to make sure that the name exactly matches Dockerfile. Okay, so some important content of Dockerfile are from. So basically we start a Docker file with the from instruction, and it says that the from instruction basically it initializes the new build stage from the main image, and it means that what the image is based on, and it can be any image as long as it's not cropped. So when we will create that image, you will be able to understand it properly. And the example is from CentOS :latest. Then we have the run instruction, and it means that this will run a command and commit the result at build time of an image. So when we are building an image and we want to run any specific command, we will use the run instruction. Then there is a CMD instruction, and it does not execute any time or anything at build time, but it works on the image after the build. So you can say that if you want to run anything or you want to create anything while the building, you don't use the CMD option, you use the run option. But once the image is built, we use the CMD option, so you can use various commands at the non-build stage, okay, or after the build stage is complete. Then there's an entry point, which is very important. So if you want to run anything automatically when the container is created from the image, you need to use the entry point. For example, if you want Apache server to be started every time the container is running, or a container is created, you use this entry point instruction. Then there's a user instruction. For example, if you want to create any user at the building of the image, you use the user. Expose, this is another important instruction, and it tells Docker that what kind of ports the container is listening to. For example, we need to use this export ports option in the file, else it would not be able to connect with the service. Then there's a copy instruction, copy files from host to container. For example, copy the source to destination. It simply copies the files or the content from source to destination. Okay, and then this is the sample Docker file which I created, and it's like creating your own image with the Docker file with HTTP and SSH. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the from instruction from CentOS latest, then run, install this EPEL repository, upgrade the system, install PHP, install HTTP and wget, and then copy our index.html file, use the entry point that the Apache should start, and expose the port 22 and 80. And we need to make sure that index file is created. So, and then once the building image from this, how we can build it, then we need to use the docker build-t and the name of the image, any name you can use here. And then if it's in the current directory, if the Docker file is in current directory, we use the dot. Otherwise, you need to specify the path. Then we can check it by Docker images, if the image is created successfully, and from this image, we can create the container and check if everything is as per our desire. So let's go to our DevOps server. a Docker server and create this sample file. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my OPT directory, and over here we can create our df directory, and in our df directory I'm going to create a Docker file with vim. Okay, you can see that the name the name is Dockerfile. Okay, the name should be like this. Okay, now I'm into this and I need to make sure that I use the proper sample as we are building this image. So first I'm going to use the from instruction. Then I'm going to use the run instruction. Okay, I'm not going to use I'm not going to install PHP because it's not related to PHP is not required right now. So I'm going to use run yum-upgrade. I'm going to install Apache server and wget, and then I'm going to copy index.html to var www.html. Then I'm going to use the entry point Apache CTL, which is the Apache control, and I want it to run in the background. As a daemon actually. And I'm going to expose the port 22 and 80. So this means that SSH will work and port for Apache or web server will be exposed. So that would be it. And now I need to create index.html. So I can use a simple hey, this is a Docker file test. Apache is working fine. Okay, so we have created here two headings. One is like it will display the Dockerfile test, and the other will display that Apache is working, and I'm going to close this HTML tag. So this is our index.html, and now I need to build the Docker container. So to do that, we are going to use docker build-t and name. So it's going to be docker build and the image name is CentOS.web 2000 and dot. So just to confirm that everything is fine, docker build-t CentOS web, well, you can give it any name. So let's press enter, and it's giving me -t option. Okay, let's try this with the small letters, CentOS.web, and now it's working fine because the reason is like it has some invalid argument, like you cannot use the capital C with this repository. So now you can see that the task has been automated and it's downloading everything which is not available. If it's available, like if the image is available, it don't need to download any image. And now you can see that it's downloading and applying the different RPMs. And you can see that it's updating the system. You can see that now it's installing Apache and wget. Let's check if our images are there. So Docker images, and we can see here that our image is created. And if we create a container from this image, then our website should be running. So let's create Docker run dash, let's call it IT, and dash name is equals to Dockerfile or web df, and I want a bash shell from CentOS.web 2000. Docker. Oh, my bad. We need to make sure that the ports are exposed, or what ports are basically we need to map. So we need -p option, and I want 8090 with port 80. And I am not going to, I just want to run it in a background. Okay, this container is already in use, so need to delete it. CentOS Web 2000. Okay. Now let's create it again. Okay, now if everything goes well, we should go to our browser and try to browse to our to this port. Okay, so the IP address should be 192.168.1.145 colon 8090. Okay, so let's open the browser and check if it really works. So I just go to 192.168, it should be 168.1.145 colon 8090, and perfect. So you can see that, hey, this is a Dockerfile test. Apache is working fine, perfect. So that's how we can easily customize our image and with the Dockerfile. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you have enjoyed our Docker video series.